Welcome back to the Anime Iceberg. I'm Megan.
And I'm Meg.
And we have a special guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm back. It's Ava.
Yes, Ava's back, and we're here to talk about a movie. This time we watched Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which is a prequel movie that came out after the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen. And if you haven't watched that anime, technically no spoilers since it's a prequel movie. So, yeah, feel free to listen in.
Yes. Well, first, I think we should say that we're all together right now.
Yay.
Because we are at a Comic-Con. And we will have a separate episode talking all about that.
Yes, we will.
We have a lot to say. Fun times. Let's jump into it, though. So, as Megan said, we watched Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and the movie, I'll just give a brief description of it. Yuta Okotsu, a nervous high school student, enrolls in the mysterious Tokyo Jujutsu High School under the guidance of Satoru Gojo, after being haunted by the curse of his childhood friend.
Crunchyroll did good with that one.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's directed by Sungu Park. Apologies for mispronunciation. And the animation studio is MAPPA, so obviously the animation is breathtaking. And so many animators probably had so many sleepless nights working on it. And the movie came out in 2021. Alright, I guess we can start with a breakdown of the main characters for this movie in particular. So let's start with our main. We get to meet Yuta. He actually will come back into the series at some point, but this is our first introduction to him, and he is going into his first year at the Jujutsu Sorcerer High School. So this is like this. The events of this movie take place about a year before Itadori would be introduced to this world. But yes, I I really like Yuta. He is. So, I've heard people say this before about the movie, but he's such a compelling character that a lot of people almost preferred that he would have been the main instead of Itadori.
Yeah, I think that he's definitely my favorite character.
Oh.
Sorry, Itadori and everybody else. Although Megami, I really like Megami, but he's not in this, so.
Yeah.
There's like something about like prequel characters lately that have just been hidden hard, and they're so lovable. Even I liked them the first time I saw the movie, and pretty much same thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, he's a certified cinnamon roll, and he's another one of our anime sons. Now we have a running list. I think what makes him so compelling is it's your classic underdog story. He's going through a tough time. And technically speaking, he is OP, but he has no clue how to control this power that he has. And he has that tragic backstory that the fans eat up. Plus, he's adorable, but...
Yeah, he's so sweet.
Yes. I really like the dub... We watched the dub version, by the way, but I really like the dub version. His voice is very sweet. Good voice actor. But yeah, I think the first time we watched this, we were both saying, "Somebody get this kid a meal and a nap."
Yeah, he doesn't look too hot, especially at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. I don't know, I just love that his whole thing is like, I just want friends. Like, that gets me. I love it.
He doesn't want people to hurt anymore.
Yeah, because his power ends up hurting people, and he never wanted that. Speaking of his power, it's technically a person. Her name is Rika, and I just put, she's bad. in a good way, mostly.
Yeah, she's not malicious. Like, she's not trying
her spirit,
necessarily.
Yeah, the storyline with that is she and Yuta were, like, the best of friends when they were little, and they made this cute promise as little kids that we're gonna get married someday, and, after she passed away, her spirit became cursed energy, basically. But, like, her number one, it's kind of like a robot, like you're pre-programmed for something. Her mission number one is keep Yuta safe. So I don't think she is an evil spirit. I just think that, like, that protocol gets in the way of things, and she doesn't care who she hurts in order to protect him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rika's a very interesting character. I would put her in a neutral category.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, as long as Yuta is okay with it, she will go with it. She is powered by love. And it's a really interesting concept as well. I was like, oh, she is literally attached to him as a spirit. She really meant it when she said forever, or like for life. And apparently in death as well.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I was like, huh, that is very interesting. She's a very powerful being, so, yeah. I mean, who would want to hurt Yuta anyways? I mean, you know.
Right? Apparently all those bullies.
That's true.
That's the worst.
Never saw the light of day.
Seriously, I don't know. I'm still like, was that guy actually alive?
There's no way.
All I saw was sludge with some eyeballs.
There was no way he was still breathing after that.
It's very Corpse Party-esque.
Yeah, Rika turned him into applesauce.
Yeah.
All right, next character, of course, we got Gojo, our mentor character, our fangirling, freaking out character. We're not Gojo fangirls, by the way.
We like Gojo.
We like him.
appreciate
Yeah.
a lot.
I like his eyes. His eyes are pretty.
Yeah, he's got pretty eyes, but I'm not. No.
I'm not freaking out over him. I've got a friend who does. Hi, Ellie, if you're listening.
Shout out. Yeah, he has beautiful eyes. I have to give it to him.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he cares about the kids, because he does the same thing for Yuta that he will do for Itadori, where it's like, here's this kid that society's given up on and the Jujutsu sorcerers want nothing to do with, and he's like, let's give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
He can be useful to us, but really he's just trying to spare this guy's life, and to be there for him in any way possible. So Gojo enlists him in the school, and then Yuta gets to meet his classmates, which apparently they're the only other kids attending the school, right? All the other kids are at the other branches.
Maybe I wasn't too.
I didn't
clear on that.
see any second or third years.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, in the show, isn't it like was it all the second years or all the third years that are gone?
Oh, maybe the third years are gone doing something.
Because I know, I feel pretty sure in the show they mentioned like, oh yeah, the third years.
Yeah, pardon me, I can't for forgetting all that info.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, Toge, Maki, and Panda, I do know that they were second years in the actual main story.
Yep.
Yeah,
They are first years in this movie. So I would say Maki's like our fearless leader. She's kind of like she's got some sick moves. She's a bit of a tsundere, and she's kind of like large and in charge, probably very studious. She looks like she could beat you up pretty easily. But beneath the hard exterior, she's just like cares about her friends and just wants to do her best and prove to her family that even though she has some limitations and handicaps as a sorcerer, that she can be just as good, and she wants to change society, basically. Panda, he's a panda. He's good. He's like the big brother type character. Mm-hmm. And then we got Toge. I think he's a cutie patootie, but he's kind of like you can't read him at first, and even Yuta is thinking, I'm kind of afraid of this guy. He can't speak normally, so you don't really know what he's thinking, and he keeps half of his face covered, so you can't like read body language as much. Mm-hmm. But when he gets to know him, it's like, oh no, he cares a lot about people. So it's nice to see these guys, these students get to bond.
Yeah. And I also noticed, I mean, I think I knew this, but I actually registered that we like never actually get to hear what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like we only hear his list of ramen ingredients.
Salmon, tuna roe. You know what? There's a whole somebody made like this list of all the rice ball ingredients he says and what they mean. Like salmon is an affirmation. Mm-hmm. There's one he uses in place of curse words.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bonito flakes.
And then that one time when he was really hurt, caviar.
Leaf mustard to see if Yuto is okay. Yeah, it would be kind of cool. Hopefully we will get to meet the voice actor pretty soon. Hopefully. Yeah. And if we do, we will tack on to this recording what he says. But,
yeah, he's supposed to be at the con that we are at. but
we want to ask him some questions.
To be continued.
To be continued, yes. But yeah, let's get into overall thoughts about the movie and storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Silence.
Silence. Head empty. Nothing.
We all went into toge form. There's a lot to say.
Salmon. No, I think the thing I came away with when we first watched the movie is I just love Yuta. It was cool. It was a good story, beginning, middle, end. Get to see some character growth. Get to see some cool action scenes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. The first season of JJK, like, to me, it was just alright. Like, there was, like, cool fight scenes, and, like, I like the characters, but, like, the story, I was just like, this is okay. But then we saw the movie, and we were like, this is actually good. I do like this.
Yeah. I feel like JJK, not to be a hater or anything, I feel like the storyline isn't exactly one that's easy to follow because, well, you get into season 2 and there's like those flashback episodes with more of Gojo's backstory, which is important, but then you get like all of this action happening and there are just moments, like even in season 1, there were moments where I was having trouble following what was happening because new information was just being thrust upon us without a lot of the explanation needed. Like, there's one episode where Megumi's like, I have a sister and she's in danger. And we're like, what? You have a sister? That's probably important. And to my knowledge, we never see her again, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
I feel like, we could make a whole episode about JJK.
For sure.
Maybe at some point. Also, wait, did we forget Geto?
Oh, yeah, Geto.
Geto, we kind of just skipped over him.
Yeah, no, he's the main antagonist for the film. He and Gojo used to be classmates and friends, and you can see more of that in, like, the beginning episodes of season 2. But he's... I just want him to go away.
Yeah, he's kind of, like, he's not even, like, to me, he's, like, there's, like, some bad guys who you, like, hate.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's such a good villain because we hate him so much.
Yeah.
But I just hate him, and I don't think he's a very good villain. Like, I'm just kind of like, why is he doing what he's doing? I don't understand. Like, while we were watching it, I don't remember what he said. What he was like, after what I've seen, like, I
turned or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you saw like one horrible thing, and then,
well, I mean it snowballed. It snowballed,
but like, it was like, no,
it's like
I don't understand him.
Well, it's like characters. Maybe we need to know more about him. But my assumption was like, the horrible things happened, and he reacted one way, which led him down a dark path, and Gojo reacted another way, which led him down a lighter, hopeful path.
Yeah.
But we just don't know enough about Geto to be able to say that. Like, there's probably more to it why he would have been more inclined to be drastic and take the measures he did.
Yeah, like, I think my main confusion with him is that in the beginning of season 2, you get to see, like mentioned before, Geto and Gocho's backstory. To me, what I was thinking, I was like, interesting, but shouldn't this make you want to protect people even more?
Yeah. And he still has that protective instinct because he has his people and those 2 girls that he saved, basically.
Yeah,
but
just in the wrong direction. And I was like, if I were him, I wouldn't even want to, like, cause pain, you know,
just
in general.
retreat from the world, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was angry, too, but I liked how upset you were getting during the movie, because you're like, why does he keep calling people monkeys? This is bothering me.
He's just like, rude.
Yeah.
Just, like, it's not fine to be evil, but just, like, stop being annoying about it. Like,
well, and you also said, Ava, he had a creepy smile. Like, that is a very ugly smile.
It really is.
Yeah, like, it's really interesting. I really think, like, the animators, and the mangaka did really well with illustrating him, and I was like, usually I love, like, looking at the smiles of characters, but with him, it's just ugly. It's like very Grinch-like smile, except there's no warmth, you know?
Yeah.
Even the Grinch had a better smile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess moving on with thoughts about the movie, it was super cool to learn more about Toge and Maki, because I mean we get to see a fair amount of them in the main series, but
we don't really get to see like their backstory,
right, because the main series is about the first years and their second years at that point,
and really like their personalities, and like I feel like this is like when we get to see Toge like actually talk the most.
Yep, and like, Toge is one of my favorite characters.
And like be part of the story, because other times it's like we learn about stuff about him after the fact, and we're like, where even was he? And then we just learn this thing about him, and then it's like, okay.
Don't remind me. I'm sorry. I love him, so I know he's gonna be put through the ringer. So that's just how it works. Yeah. The music in the movie is super great. If you check out the soundtrack, that is like great background music, study music. We still don't understand cursed energy. Not one bit.
Honestly, the movie to me not as confusing, because there wasn't
because Rika, that's a pretty simple thing to understand.
And even like Geto's power makes sense to me.
Now that I've seen it in the second season, it does.
I'd say, and really everybody else like didn't do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Toge's power is straightforward with the cursed speech, and then I mean Maki just uses her weapons, but I think for everyone else it's sort of like I think it's really Gojo. It's really Gojo. Yeah. Because I'm like, I thought maybe he had a particular skill set like the others, but he just can do everything. He teleported people. He blasted people. He did all this stuff.
Like, super OP. I think like part of it is like the powers. Like to me, it feels very like, oh, we're gonna talk about this power right now, and because we need it for the story, like
convenient powers.
Yeah, like it doesn't like. It feels like they're just kind of making stuff up.
I think that's called baloney magic. I think when people use that in stories, where it's just like, we need a convenient way to be able to resurrect someone from the dead, magic or something.
Like, oh, Gojo can do that. Yeah, basically that's.
I mean, it's not so extreme, but you kind of get this. You kind of get this itch in the back of your brain, going, Why did that work?
And actually, Also, there was no narrator in this.
Yeah.
That I hate the narrator. So much, especially in the second season.
Well, just because he interrupts at
and he's usually the one that's explaining things, and I just don't care for it. Like it's like, please stop, go away. We don't need you.
What's really interesting is that when it comes to the powers in Jujutsu Kaisen, I kind of see them as like each of them are their own boards with all their limitations and rules, except we don't know the entire manual yet. So that's kind of how I see it.
And there's like that kind of actually makes sense, because then there's like a different manual for each person, and then so then it's impossible to like know everything about the system.
Because they're also different.
Right. Because it would be one thing to just... It has a good start, because it'd be one thing to be like, Toge has the power to manipulate cursed energy for speech. Maki can use instruments that have it embedded in them. And so like if everyone is specialized in different ways, that makes sense. But then it's like, oh no, cursed energy, you can learn how to use other people's specialties too, because Yuta used the cursed speech in the megaphone he used.
Like Rika.
And they learned how to do all sorts of things, so that's when it gets confusing, because then you're like, oh, what's his limitations? What's her limitations? I'm crossing my wires here a little bit.
Yeah, like, they are not simple powers like you will see, like, in, for example, like My Hero Academia, where it's, like, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, everyone has a unique thing, a quirk.
Yep, like, pretty much like I mentioned before, they're all their own little games with manuals, and they have their own set of rules that may or may not apply to the others.
Well, everything
not confusing at all.
Yeah, right. I've heard storytelling advice, people, like the keep it simple stupid rule, and you can make a complicated magic system if you want to, just as long as you keep everything straight in your own head. But I've heard people say for magic systems, some of the most successful ones are the ones that are basic, because they're understandable, but then you can branch off of them and still have it believable for the audience. Two examples that are always used is, one is Avatar: The Last Airbender. The powers are based on elements. So you got earth, air, fire, water. and later there can be tweaks to that system because metal bending, they're trace elements of earth in metal, so that is an earthbender specialty, and it makes sense. And then Full Metal is like alchemy. It's explained to you at the very beginning of the show. It's like, this is a science, nothing can be created, if you don't have something to start with, and you can't change something into something completely different, so you have those rules established, and they don't really branch away from those rules unless somebody's got a philosopher's stone. So they give you like the unless and like put that there for you. So
yeah, even in Link Click.
Yeah.
You'll know these powers of like, one can like see the events in the photo, and help guide the other one who is in the photo, and is playing as like the character who took the photo. And then of course there can be like modifications, but it kind of just relates to the basic rules of what they already can do.
Yeah. And then moving on. I think another reason why the movie just hit better than the show is that it was really nice to take a step back from the action. Like, the action scenes were very, very well done, and I thought well paced too.
They're great.
But it's super nice to get more character moments, because those are actually some of my favorite things from the main series, is like when we actually get to see the kids talking together, doing things together. But that's what this movie was, is like, even if they're on missions, you get those moments of, oh wow, I really respect you as a person, I'm learning more about you, this is cool, so that the audience can care about each one of the characters and their relationships and how they work together.
Yeah, I think the movie, like you said before, it's fairly good pace. Like, by the end of the movie, I was like, oh, I want to see more, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, it ended nicely, but now I want more. It gave me like less is more kind of thing, but it also gave me enough to work with in a way. Good pace.
And it's great because it's a prequel movie. There is more coming. Yep. And I guess to wrap up, we're just gonna share what our favorite scenes from the movie were. Meg and I actually had the same one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, and then you can add as we go.
Okay.
But we both really liked when Toge and Yuta teamed up to fight those cursed spirits, like the fish-looking things. And I really like the manga pages for it too. I very much love those two characters. To see them working together was perfect.
Yeah, I really like. I mean, I feel like we did see him do it in season 1, but I felt like this is the first time I really got to see Toge like use his power and like how useful it is, but also its limitations. And also, Yuta. First, I will say I'm very impressed at like how good he got like within a few short months, and I love characters like katanas, and he's like running around, and I love
swords.
it. And I don't know, they're such good buddies, which really matters later on. So I think that's also
leave it at that. But
yep.
I love how Toge was protective because like he knows more than Yuta, so he's like didn't want Yuta to be in danger or come along at first. He pushes Yuta out of the way at one point and gets hurt himself, and I love how Yuta's just like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And Toge just like snaps his finger back into place. It's like,
dude, don't do that.
He's good. He's fine.
Yeah, going into it and how like the friendships level, like the bond is like important later on. Yeah, it kind of goes into like my favorite part, which is like the Yuta versus Geto fight. Let's see. Yeah, so it is the first time that you ever see Yuta like straight up rage and like filled with like hate and vengeance, kind of like how Itadori was a Junpei with after Mahito.
We do not speak of that.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, like it's really cool to see how fast he's learned, like mentioned before, in like such a short time, and watch him grow. And also, I also don't like Ito, so go boy, go.
Smash his face and
yeah. I also
you literally killed him.
yeah, you lost an arm.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I don't like seeing characters go rage mode because they're filled with hate. But I do love seeing cinnamon roll characters snap because it's like, I think when you go through life, if you're a person, I'm correlating this to real life stuff, but if you're a person who is even-tempered and doesn't get mad usually, and people, I think people just assume you might not have opinions one way or the other. So when you see a person in real life who's normally quiet get mad at somebody, you care because you're like, oh, this pushed a person past their threshold, so like that they have passion in them. So to see that in a movie, it's like, yes, you go. Show the world that you can fight.
Yeah, and that kind of leads to my point. It's like, yes, he was filled with hatred, but he's also filled with love for his friends, and also final promise to Rika. I thought it was very sweet. Like, I'm both like a romantic person and a non-romantic person at the same time. I love romance when it's built very well or have it be like a very central, important relationship throughout the series or movie. I thought it was really cute. I was like, oh my gosh, are they actually going to show them kissing? I'm like, no, because blacked out.
Because she's not really human anymore, so I think that would have looked weird. But
maybe that's why they make it blacked out. I was like, well,
it might have just been like a peck on her forehead, or if she has a forehead, I don't know. Her design's kind of weird. Her design's cool. It's just different. But Geto was even like, disgusting. Like you, or I don't know. Like why would you? That's a perverse kind of love, and I like Yuta's comeback. He's like, no, my love is pure.
Mm-hmm. I love when he says that.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Like, just Yuta in general, just filled with love for his friends, and it's enough for him to like be vengeful and snap out of his like usual shyer, polite demeanor.
Yeah,
because like, okay, you messed with the wrong people. I can relate to that too because I'm just like,
you get mad on other people's behalf.
Yeah, I get mad on other people's behalf. So, and like I'm like, if you mess with me, I'm just like, whatever. But if you mess with like my friends, I'm just like, oh, okay, we're going.
Let's do it. I'll break your knees.
Very much.
Yeah, it's just, yep, and he does really well. He wins, and roll credits, but not really. I mean,
no, there's a little bit more.
Gojo has to be the one to kind of finish Geto off, which sort of happens in a blackout off screen.
Yeah, we don't see it, which I think that they needed to do that because I will say I was very confused at the end of this movie. I was like, did he just die?
Yeah, because we see him in season 1.
In season 1, and then you find out what happens later.
Yes.
But, like,
yes.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing because then it kind of leaves you like wondering, like, wait, what actually happened? Like,
and then you pointed out like this is rewinding a little bit, but Geto is using that purple worm thing with the nunchucks, and you were like, wait, we know where that's from now because season 2 and Toji.
Yep,
that's cool. It's kind of cool to like know more of the story now to see where things are overlapping, but credits roll, the music's awesome, the friends, saved the day, Rika was released, Yuta isn't really cursed anymore, but he can still use cursed energy, so he's gonna stay at the school, it's great, and we get an end credit scene where I guess he's in another country now, and he finally gets a meal. I was so happy he was eating, but he looks older. He's got his new hairstyle that I'll have in season 2. Looks great. And he looks like he's enjoying himself, but obviously he's not at school, so I actually never found out why yet he was away, but study abroad, maybe?
I'm guessing they'll explain that later.
Yeah, but then Gojo shows up, and he wants to take him back to Japan. I wonder why.
I have no idea.
Because the poop's about to hit the fan, that's why.
Yeah. No, it's a good ending, and it leaves you like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? And I think Ava, this was your first time seeing the movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What overall thoughts? Excellent. Just okay.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
Nice.
I haven't watched like Jujutsu Kaisen in like a while. Like I think it's over like a year and a half now. So, but I still
Ooh.
remember most of the main things.
But you did well. It's got to be sooner than a year and a half though, because you watched some of season 2.
Huh, it might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like forever.
She told us she stopped at the point where spoilers ahead for season 2, but she stopped at the point where Sukuna took over Itadori's body, and
You stopped at like such a.
that's a climactic point.
Yeah.
I stopped at a weird point. So I'll have to go back into it. But yeah, it's good because like the movie's a prequel. And since like this channel doesn't, tries to stray away from spoilers when possible, it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's information you will need to know for later.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
yeah, so it's a good thing you paused so we could watch this, and you'll get back into JJK later.
Yeah, because I would have been looking at Yuta later on and be like, who's
Who
this
are
guy?
you?
Yeah,
Who's this angel?
Why is everybody freaking out?
Yeah, he's, well, I mean, I think he's a bit of a changed man when he comes back, but I think he's still a sweetie.
Yeah, we'll see. You can tell we obviously don't read the manga,
Yeah.
but
They're all gonna die. They're all gonna die.
yeah, just assume everybody's dead at this point.
Yeah,
Oh,
I modern shonen, man. I don't have much hope for characters I like. As I
Yeah.
said before, my character's always dying.
Yeah. No, and like I said, you were like the ideal reader for
Yeah,
for
I really am.
for all mangakas, because all your favorite characters are the ones that are meant to suffer and like
My
go
favorite
through and die, and
character-
like the ones that like
My favorite character in
the-
season 1 was initially Junpei, so
yeah, that's rough, buddy.
yeah.
That is rough.
Thanks. Thanks for your sympathy, guys. Thank you.
My first favorite character died.
I was crushed.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy. Yeah. Well, I should have seen that one coming though. But I mean, that was an important storyline too. But I think there's a trope called breaking the cutie, and
Mm.
it's like you put those characters to the ringer.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, unless like they're the main character, they're probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, if it's Cinnamon Roll main character, there's a little bit more hope. So at least
Mhm.
there's that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That reminds me, like, Yuta and Itadori's story actually very similar
Yeah.
to me.
Mhm.
Like, it starts with Gojo trying to save them, and they both have powers that they don't understand. And then,
We get into hot water with Gato.
yep, like,
Mhm.
it is kind of a similar story.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both kind of cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Except Yuta is very respectful of women and is very bashful. And Itadori, while he respects people, and he had a very sweet moment in season 2 with a girl, he also has a pin-up poster in his room.
Honestly, he's not. To me,
He's not that bad.
not
He's
that
really
He's
not that
fine.
bad.
I
It's
really
just that
like
Yuta would take one look at his room and like and run out of there.
Yeah, I was like, compared to all the anime character guys out there,
Yeah,
Itadori's not bad.
Oh,
not
no.
even close.
No.
Yeah. All right. I think that's like all we've got for this.
Yeah. Thanks
Cool.
for listening, and thanks, Ava, for joining us again.
Yes,
I'm sure we'll
yeah.
have some more things we're going to
And
talk about
Do you
later.
have anything that you want to plug?
Crap. I lost my train of thought again. But yes, I am on my usual Instagrams, the Shades or Ava. That's the main one. So yeah, thank you for listening again, and yeah, see you in the next one. Probably.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.